what are some of the common types of trust that as a certified financial planner I might see that come into my office?
Okay. So there's several. So one of them that you probably will see from some clients is an irrevocable trust. They might come in with what we would call an inter vivos irrevocable trust, which again just means a trust that they started during their lifetime and that cannot be changed or revoked.
Okay.
And so usually when you're using irrevocable trust, what you're doing is you are trying to take advantage of gift tax exemptions or estate tax exemptions to transfer sums or assets, a lot of times appreciating assets, to your loved ones, the people that you ultimately want to inherit them. And typically what you'll sometimes hear crummy trust.
Okay.
You know, that the name crummy comes from the guy whose name was on the case where the IRS got approved. But anyway, what a crummy trust is, or what a crummy power is you're giving something to an irrevocable inter vivos trust, and the beneficiary has a limited right to withdraw that contribution. Usually it's a 30-day period where they kind of have a window where you contribute, they have 30 days where they can withdraw the contribution, and then if they don't withdraw the contribution, that contribution sits in the trust and can be invested and gain either appreciation or income inside the trust. And so it can be irrevocable trust can be a very powerful way to move today's dollars for loved ones' benefits at a gift or estate tax advantaged amount, and then allow that appreciation to occur outside of your gross estate.
Okay.
So it can be a really good thing. Now that's going to apply. Most of the people that you're going to see with the irrevocable trust are going to have pretty significant assets. It's not something that most people do just kind of right off the shelf. It's a more expensive form of planning. The one kind of drawback of those irrevocable trusts are that they are irrevocable. So you can't change them, you can't modify them, you can't terminate them. And you can't pull the stuff back out of them, right? And so besides not being able to change them, you have lost control of them. So most of the IRS cases that you'll see on irrevocable trust will say that in order for it to be truly irrevocable, you can't be the beneficiary of it and you can't be the trustee of it. And so usually when we're doing those kind of tax planned irrevocable trusts, they're going to have to find somebody besides them to be the trustee and be in control. And sometimes clients don't like that lack of control function, especially ones that have built substantial net worth.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Another common one that you're going to see in your office, and which has really good opportunities for you as a financial planner, is an irrevocable life insurance trust. Kind of the shorthand is an ILIT. And so an ILIT is a great method for planning for estate taxes. So someone who's going to have an estate that is subject to estate taxes, what you can do is you buy an insurance policy inside the trust. And so the trust is the owner of the insurance policy. Now, the person whose life is insured is usually the person who is setting up the trust.
Right.
And what that person does is every year they would gift the premium, the insurance policy premium amount to the trust, which is usually an amount less than the gift tax exclusion, annual exclusion, so less than $14,000 a year. And the trust will then pay the premium to the insurance company. And then when the insured's life ends, then the policy is going to pay out to that trust. And then typically that trust is going to terminate, and the proceeds from the life insurance policy are going to pass to the beneficiary without any kind of tax. And the nice thing about it is because it's in an irrevocable trust, it's not included in the insured person's gross estate for
Right.
estate tax purposes. So a lot of times what we'll do is somebody who has a very large estate will figure out this is how much they're probably going to owe in estate taxes, and we'll use the ILIT to insure against that risk so that the kids have a ready source of money to pay the estate taxes. And so you'll see this a lot, like a family that maybe has a ranch or a family farm that is, that they want to retain as one piece and not have to sell any parts of it. So a lot of times what you'll see is using an ILIT to provide for those estate taxes so that the family land can be kept together. So that's a really good method of doing it.
It's a great idea.
Another typical one that you're going to see as part of people's estate plan is another form of estate tax planning, which is the bypass or credit shelter trust. This could be an inter vivos trust, so one made during your lifetime, but most of the time we see it as a testamentary trust, one that's included in the will or revocable trust. And so what this does, sometimes it's referred to as a B trust. Essentially what you're doing is everyone gets a certain level of estate tax exemption. Right now it's $5.25 million, and so I can pass estate tax free to my children, $5.25 million. When you're a husband and a wife, you can double up that exemption amount, so you can take a $5.25 million exemption and turn it into a $10.5 million exemption. And so what you're using is the bypass or credit shelter trust in order to double that exemption. And so you'll see that a lot in people's estate planning if they have estates that are at least the $5 million limit. Now, it used to be that limit when I first started practicing law was $650,000.
Yeah, we saw a lot of bypass trusts.
Yeah, and so pretty much everybody's will had a
Right.
bypass trust in it for a long period of time. Another one that you'll typically see is what's called a Q-tip trust, or qualified terminal interest property trust, which is a mouthful, so just call it a Q-tip. And typically we see these included in a revocable trust or in a will, and there'll be a testamentary trust, so they'll spring into being once the person passes away. They're created at the first spouse's death, and what you do is you put the money into the Q-tip trust, right, which comes into being, and it's for the remainder beneficiary, so usually the kids, but the surviving spouse gets the income from the trust. And then once the surviving spouse dies, then whatever's left is going to go to the kids. So this is a great tool, especially in second marriages, because you can provide income to the second wife, let's say, but you can have the remainder beneficiary be the kids from the first marriage. And so this is a great planning tool for couples who have divorces in their past and are on second or third spouses. Kind of the last one that you'll see from time to time is what's called a legacy trust or a dynasty trust. And really what that is a trust that's designed to last for a long, long period of time. And what they're trying to do is give beneficiaries at multiple generational levels the opportunity to use the assets of the trust, while at the same time not paying transfer taxes from generation to generation. And so if you see somebody walk in with a legacy or dynasty trust, they're going to be a great financial planning client for you because they have a lot of money.